Back, Alchemist. This is the 100 Millionaires Podcast with myself, Gualter Amarelo, and the great Michael Schein and Mitch Jaworski. Mike, bring us in.
Massive income from passive income, actually heading back from Roatan to Rhode Island for the summer, back to this United States.
During the warm weather, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Mitch, how do we get that massive income from passive income?
Well, given that summer is almost here and it's going to be the summer of money.
Summer money.
Organize and collect.
Thank you.
Organize and collect. I like it. We were speaking at an event this week called Video Boss Agent, and it made me want to do YouTube videos, although I'm going to still continue with Alchemist Station the way we're operating. But at some point, I have every intention of going and creating actual, really damn good YouTube videos.
And what's I want to ask you about this because we didn't really talk about it. Is it your reason for doing it just to help people, or is like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to monetize, but I'm just wondering, is that kind of like, do you want to see if you can monetize through YouTube, or what's the?
Nope. I just want to create really good YouTube videos. It's more about acquiring the skill, I guess.
I mean, the thing is, you can obviously grab followers with YouTube, right? Which you can bring into your community, but also there's those who just make money off of YouTube. And,
right,
you know, if you're constantly creating content anyway, why would you not also create it on YouTube and therefore build enough volume where YouTube is paying you?
So
yeah,
I've got
I saw
1,100 videos on YouTube. So it's not that I haven't created content. It's more like what Mike was talking about earlier, like Mr. Beast said, you know?
Yeah, Mr. Beast was saying that, I was going to tell a different story about Mr. Beast, but somebody asked him when he was really young, like 19, if they could sponsor his video or something like that. And they offered him $5,000. And he said he wanted 10 grand because he wanted to give it to a homeless guy outside. And so they agreed to it. He says, it'll blow up. Don't worry about it. So they agreed to the 10 grand. And then he took the money and walked outside, made a video with this homeless person. And his mom was like, couldn't you give them 8,000 or 9,000 or something? He's like, no, it's more effective if I gave away all the money. So yeah. Cool.
I know. So I know that name, but like, I don't really know much about him. I saw that YouTube, whatever it was, that clip you sent me the other day. And I laughed because I was like, this guy's me. Like he's talking about, you know, because he's not into any fancy stuff or whatever, but like, I don't know what his deal is in terms of, is he just like a popular YouTube guy, or is he
he's
like
the number one? He is the number one YouTuber. And somebody offered him $1 billion for his channel recently, and he turned it down.
He's the number one YouTuber for what though? Like, what's he do?
The entire platform, most followers.
Entire platform.
But I'm saying, but what is his channel about?
Oh, he gives away stuff. He's he started. I saw one when my kids were watching where he gave somebody 40 cars. And he had like 40 million. I don't know what it was, but it's not 40 million followers, but he gave away 40 cars to one dude. He's like here. And yeah, he does a lot of cool stuff. Somebody was giving him shit recently. He gave like hearing to people who couldn't hear. And then of course the woke virus came out and said, you're just doing this to raise your channels, whatever. But it's like,
even if he was though, isn't that a win-win? He's helping people and raising his viewership.
Yeah, he also did. You don't have to
freaking sacrifice and be like a freaking martyr in order to.
Exactly. 4 Oceans. They were taking out plastic out of the ocean, and they were giving $1. They would, for every $1 that was donated, it was him and a couple other people. They would remove a pound of plastic from the ocean. They ended up raising $30 million and took 30 million pounds of plastic out of the ocean. So he's got a pretty long reach.
One, that's a lot of pounds of plastic in the ocean. I do not know what it's doing there.
Yeah. There's like an area off the coast of California that's just like a mile square, just dumped plastic. It's horrible.
It's just like the currents just kind of circle it there and keep it in that place. Like just go, the plastic of the world collects in Southern California.
I think it's everywhere. I don't know. It comes up on shore and Roatan parts of here from Central America, but you can check out Four Oceans if you want. It's,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, they
See?
do the recycled bracelets and stuff like that. It's cool.
So
But yeah,
I
Mr.
think
Beast is awesome because, like you said, Mitch, he's like you. He's like so modest, and he's just kind of like, I don't want a Lamborghini. He said he had to get in that clip that I said. You said he had to get a nicer house only because his $700 a month house got broken into and they
Yeah.
sold up. So he just needed security.
it was funny because I only watched him throw like things in pools and then explode them. So
Oh,
you know,
wow.
my experience with Mr. Beast is like, I think mostly like children's entertainment, but
yeah.
you know, it is it's definitely doing some interesting things. And he's driving his channel up. So
I like when he gives away, like I saw a woman, I think she was like a barista at a coffee place. And he's like, how about if for the tip, I give you this car? And she's like, what? And he gave her like, the key fob. And
yeah,
she's like, really? He's like, yeah, really. And they come out and it's like a car. And I think this one was sponsored because then somebody else said, oh, you're sponsoring this. And he was like, I didn't even know they were going to sponsor it. But he gave it to her and you see her crying. I always love those kind of videos. It's like, give somebody they didn't expect it and free car. I don't know.
hashtag like. Right, you got
Yeah,
nice,
right.
like the thumbs up. It's
Yeah, exactly.
share with a few people.
Share with the Three Musketeers.
I guess that is how it's done. You know, we were learning about creating valuable content and making your videos.
Where was this?
This was in Jacksonville. It's called Video Boss Agent. It's run by Karen Carr, who is a YouTube coach for real estate agents. I think she's a realtor out of Atlanta, Georgia. So like
Okay.
all of her videos are very unique. Actually, there's a realtor who always drinks wine on her videos. And you may have seen her, but she's always drinking wine on her videos. She's always dancing on TikTok. And she was actually there. So she was there, just like showing just reel after reel after reel. Most entertaining
Cool.
talk ever. Like really didn't have to say much. Just like, here's another TikTok. It was like watching TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except the actual influencer was there on the stage pressing the slides. So
Wow.
That's funny.
You get a picture with her?
I didn't even think of it. Honestly, I was just having so much fun. Like, honestly, Mike, believe it or not, I was so focused on what I was going to say on stage
Yeah.
that I really wasn't even like networking at all, which is terrible to say. But I was so focused on who was in the room. I didn't get contacts. I was just asking questions. I was just like trying to figure out like, who was in the room.
What was your talk about? What did you talk about?
I talked about the niche to get rich. So I was teaching them how to niche down into real estate investing, how to create that content, and why real estate investors are recession proof. And so as we're going towards the market, like this is the niche to get into. And I got very, very well received. I wasn't sure. I was scared to be in a room full of realtors, honestly, teaching this niche. So
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest, I was like, they're going to hate this, but
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of realtors don't get it. They're just mom and pop buying a single family home. They don't. Yeah.
Yeah, it
caught a
was
few
very
minutes
well
of it 'cause
received.
Serena was live streaming it, so I saw a few minutes of it, and I saw that slide, and then I saw how you dropped the bomb on all the realtors and basically said, "Ask the investor. They actually know better than you because they're running the numbers every day. Ask them what the number is. They will
That actually got a
appreciate
round
it."
of applause, man. Like it's funny because after what you said, it's that simple, isn't it? I was like, that simple. Like they are actually
really
smarter,
is.
smarter than you. Like this is what they do to actually make their living, whereas we just have a license. Like investors know what they're doing.
It's true. I mean,
But you know what was the funniest part, Mitch? You'd love this. A couple of investors came up afterwards and like, hey, I'm also an investor too. Like it's like, why are we whispering? Well, they won't get it. This other, the other realtors in the room, they're not going to get it. So it's
no, they were worried about getting swarmed. The bum rush of realtors. Here's my card. Here's my card.
Or it's like, hey, if you ever want to buy a deal,
If you're ever looking to buy something, if you're ever looking to sell something, which I mean, rightfully so. We talked so much about YouTube. I want to say that it's pretty cool because I went to YouTube to like look up Mr. Beast, but then I saw like in the preview pop up us, streaming, and there's a handful of people watching on YouTube right now. I never looked
We
on
appreciate
YouTube
it.
before. I usually go to Facebook. So shout out to the YouTube listeners.
Hold on. How do we know who's on YouTube? Can we
We
see
don't
it?
know who it is. It just tells you that
There's two.
unless
There's two people
unless
watching
they
on
drop
YouTube
something
right
in the
now.
comments. Because like the Leo Finance AMA, basically pretty much everyone watches it in YouTube. That isn't on the Discord, and they'll drop comments in the chat. So I'm like in both chats. But yeah.
I guess we got to drop something useful now. So some sort of valuable thing to stay valuable and relevant on YouTube. Mitch, say something smart about real estate investing.
I was too busy typing "What up, millionaires" in the chat.
I can
Something
tell you
smart.
that I'm not buying right now.
What do you mean you're not buying?
And I just
Mike?
bought.
But
Oh,
I am not, yeah, I feel like opportunities are in the future. And like right now is a good time to stack cash. And like I said, I'm going to be starting my private lending in a couple of months.
Yep.
But actually buying new item, I'd rather have cash because if the market turns further, I just want to have a lot of money to go get opportunities. And I
And
think
that's
that's where we're heading.
also
that's-
Yep.
because cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar
we
bill.
are liquid as well. We're liquidating a lot of assets to get
And then
to
when you're
ourselves that
closing,
position.
we're,
Meanwhile, I'm
today.
still in acquisition mode.
Is it today,
What's going
Mike?
on?
Is it today?
yeah,
What
well,
time?
Ron signed yesterday and they're signing today. So yeah.
What?
I was
Might
told
already- I
it
think
might
it's
be
actually-
Friday, so
I think
that's
it's already
exciting.
done. I think it's already done. We needed it done by Thursday because it's like a domino. It affects another one of your closings tomorrow. So
2 closings.
Sweet.
nice job.
Congrats.
Stacking cash.
Awesome. So that must have been the big one then. That was the 2-3 families. That was
Yep.
Brighton Street closed
Right.
today, and then Walnut will close tomorrow.
Exactly.
Oh man,
Dude,
that
that's
is
awesome.
big.
Well, that
check.
was stressful. Megan in my office gets a big star because that was a lot of, yeah. All's
We'll
well
take
that
care
ends
of
well.
Megan.
Yeah, the thing about it is that the Walnut one had like a $16,000 kicker if we didn't get it closed by tomorrow. So
Let's close.
we are closing without that kicker. Yeah.
Hell yeah, we gotta close.
Nice.
I remember hearing that it would cost us $16,000 extra if we don't close on time. I was like, Ron, like do whatever you gotta do, man.
Yeah.
We
It's
gotta
like
make
one of
phone
those, it
calls.
was like a rate lock or something like that,
Yeah.
but I'm not used to like
Oh, 'cause they were losing the
$16,000
rate
rate
lock?
lock things, but it was,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was something along those lines. I know our lender was actually looking out for us. Like the lender who we have on it needed
Yeah.
to release one loan before they could release the next loan.
that's what it is. The one today had to be released before the one tomorrow.
Yep.
Or you were gonna get whacked. And I was
Yeah.
like, this
It was
is,
yield maintenance. It was yield maintenance on the properties.
yeah, one of the things about me being an attorney is I internalize all this stuff. So when something like that happens to my client, I like lose sleep over it because I'm like, God forbid, like 16 grand is, I don't know, a lot of money for, and it's like,
A lot of
we
money,
got to
period.
get this done. And I was like on the phone with, I'm not trying to toot my own, but I was on the phone with Megan a lot and talking to Ron and saying, listen, I mean, Ron was good about it. He's like, if we have to pay it, we have to pay it, but hopefully we can avoid it. And yeah.
I love you, Mike. I'm glad that you got this done for us. I appreciate you.
Megan, Megan gets the credit. I'm just saying I didn't sleep very well.
You can sleep. You can rest tomorrow. You're gonna sleep so good tomorrow after we close.
Yes, right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So yeah, this is the summer of money. We're
Summer of
spending
money.
cash.
I love that.
Summer of money, the golden ocean, right? Just go out
You
there
gotta
with a
put that
wheelbarrow.
up there for the YouTube. When people see Summer of Money, they're just gonna
Summer of
go,
money. In fact, I'll be refining the latest property this summer, and Mike Schein will be in
Oh,
town. That's
thank you.
awesome.
That's awesome. I get to do it personally. We'll have to
You
go
have to do
for
it
sushi
personally.
after.
I'm gonna have to come up. I'm gonna have to come up just for that.
I'm with
Right?
you though, Mike.
Do some
I
sushi.
I think
I
that
think
right now
I think I'm gonna see both of you this summer, right?
I
'cause
will
Gualter,
be back
you're-
for the
you'll
summer.
be
You'll
up.
be there for 4th of July. I always come back for the 4th.
I cannot. But that's
No?
when I'm out in Joe Dispenza land.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
That's a good reason. That's a
Oh,
very
I want to
good
go so
reason.
bad.
Yeah, Joe Dispenza is a game changer. So
So in
Mike,
the
you may
last
come back like
12
Moses.
Last 12 months, we've done, we went to Eckhart Tolle in Boston. We went on Esther Hicks cruise. Brenda's doing a 5-month Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, I don't know how you pronounce it, program where she becomes a teacher of presence. It's like literally like a whole program that has some live stuff and some not live, but and then
Ooh,
we got Joe Dispenza in Colorado. So.
that reminds me, we got to talk about Neville Goddard. I put it in the description that we mentioned something.
Okay.
I mean, in a
ChatGPT
way,
actually
we
put
did.
in the description that we mentioned something about Neville Goddard.
By mentioning
we were
Joe
talking-
Dispenza, we kind of did, because
Yeah, well-
in essence, it's all wrapped around the same principles.
Mhm.
It's just different
true.
approaches.
You create your own reality, like we were saying to Mitch before that. That comes straight out of Neville, is that you literally create everything. So when everybody's focusing on what's going on the outside, thinking that they can fix things or repair things, as within, so without. So if you focus on what's going on in your subconscious, meditate, connect with God, that's Neville right there. And that will make everything happen for you. Neville Goddard, he's my hero.
There was a line from Tony Robbins that I've actually sort of used myself, just like when I'm teaching crypto. I use the example because he talks about, we don't need to know how to, like, he's like, you know how to turn the light on and off. He's like, you don't need to know how to wire the light. You just need to flip the light on and off. And I like, to me, and this is probably why I like Joe Dispenza so much, because, me, I like kind of knowing why things work. I like the logic of it. So
Yeah.
Neville Goddard, Joe Dispenza, same thing. At the end of the day, you are basically visualizing, right?
Yeah.
Which every great athlete's done. Michael Jordan, talked about that. And the difference is Joe Dispenza breaks down the science of it. He's got the brain scans. He tells you why it works, like based on the neurons firing and everything. And Neville Goddard's like, screw all that. I know it works. Just do the damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good.
Like, have faith.
I have another one. I mentioned you, that Steve Rizzo book.
Oh, yeah.
Conversations with Bob.
I gotta read that. I've had it for months.
I find that that's a really good, simple. It's the same exact stuff, Mitch. Same as Neville Goddard, same as Joe Dispenza, same as Esther Hicks, but it's very simple. And my daughter Hannah was saying she really likes it because there's a conversation between this guy, who's like in negative land all the time, and he's always talking to Bob, and I can't remember his name right now. But anyways, he asked the question. Hannah says he always asks the questions that I want to ask. And so if you want something as a primer, like to start with, Conversations with Bob by comedian Steve Rizzo is a great book. So yeah, recommend it.
Can we still call him comedian Steve Rizzo? He hasn't done stand-up in a while.
Yeah, that's right.
Now he is motivational speaker.
Former comedian turned inspirational speaker, Steve Rizzo.
The comedian formerly known as Steve Rizzo. No,
There you go.
I messed that
I
up.
like it. I like it.
So
That's
this,
a good one. It's good. It's great. It's like you take a little bit of Joe Dispenza, and then you go read some Esther Hicks, and then you get Steve Rizzo, and then you get Neville Goddard, and hundreds of other books, and they all address the exact same thing from a different angle and different messages. Like you said, Mitch, get to people in different ways. Like I'm way more of a high I, so the Neville Goddard just speaks to me.
simple. You don't need to know all the science.
Right.
It works.
And the law and the promise is a lot of it is just examples. And I just love examples. Like you don't even have to explain to me the stuff. Just show these examples of what these people did and what came of it, and I'm good. Yeah. So
Show me a
good.
few good metaphors.
Right.
There is, speaking of metaphors, yesterday this guy who did all of these storyboarding, and I don't know if you know what storyboarding is, but it's basically the drawing of what a movie's going to look like. It's
Right. Yeah.
Cartoons. It looks like
I actually have. I bought in like peak COVID. I think it was Doodly or whatever it was. They had some discount.
Yeah.
I bought that software so I can make my own storyboarding things, which I never ended up using. I still have the software. Never used it once.
I also bought Doodly and never used it once.
I feel like
Great
I just
company.
Just one
wanted
time.
to.
I
I
should
wanted
create
to,
a
but I never
storyboard.
pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Don't worry, Mike. The story is that you never use it once. So
I did it with like Canva and a few others. I was like,
I
I
use
got billed
Canva
the
all the
other day
time.
for like $168, and they're like, I'm like,
oh,
what
I
the
live
hell
in
is
Canva. Yeah, Canva is like you're missing out. Canva's a lot of fun, Mike. I built
Yeah.
that background you're using in Canva.
this?" Yeah.
I built this background. I'm using it on Canva.
Yeah. No, I wasn't using it. I know that it's valuable. I did a couple of things on it, but then it was like a year went by and I didn't use it. So they refunded my money for the next year. They just gave back.
I feel like this guy clearly doesn't use Canva. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be all right. We got all these other guys.
Yeah.
So this storyboard thing, he was sharing how all a screenwriter will do is go and storyboard their script, and that's how they get the funding. Like they take the storyboard to Hollywood and say, "This is what I got." And it's not the script. Nobody reads the manuscript. They read this. They look at the storyboard. They just look at the pictures,
Oh,
and they
wow.
decide that's the movie. And that's that's so it goes back to visualizing. People have to visualize in order to invest money. They have to visualize in order to go and build something. And it's interesting because they have the script, but that's not enough. Like they need to see the pictures, and if they can see the pictures, then they
Right.
can see the movie.
Right.
It-
So they do that with the pitch decks and the syndications.
Syndications, pitch decks. I was
Or,
thinking
or
the
the
same thing.
or the business opportunity. Everybody's got a pitch deck now. So
That visual is what makes
Yeah.
the thing become a reality. We've been looking at Telosa lately and just modeling that. Like the Alchemist Nation website, like our goal with the map and everything is to kind of model what the Telosa website says. You know, hey, look, this is what we're doing. So creating that visual so people can go and see event is created, new event, new event.
what's Telosa?
Telosa? Oh man, city in the desert. It's badass. Like,
Oh, right. You showed it to me. before.
Diapers.com. That guy is he's gonna build a
What's
city
the
now.
other
He's
one?
doing real estate.
What's the other one called out in Saudi Arabia?
The line.
The line. That's crazy.
Line. Sounds like a game show.
Line piece.
We have our mini line going here in Roatan because there's like a main road that comes from Cox and Hull to West End, and they are in the process of expanding it and turning it into like a nice big concrete road so people can go much faster on this road. And so every time you drive, they're like, they don't have like permits here or anything. They're just sort of scraping off the side of like the front yard of a place, and then they're just putting it. It's just fun to watch. Like they'll be like, oh, the road's come a little bit closer to West End now. So every day, like when I come back in a couple of years, this thing will be done. But it's kind of interesting to watch a road, a few miles long being constructed. It's crazy. Yeah.
On an island.
Yeah. On an island.
Yeah. Very few regulations. I'm sure the construction is a little different.
Exactly. Right in front of the coffee shop that we go to after we dropped off the kids in the morning, they had like this backhoe just digging out major things of earth. And then these dump trucks show up, fills it, dump truck pulls away, another dump truck comes in, and pulls it, and they just keep going and going. And then they fill it with some other like better packed dirt. And then you see the other guys with their cement machine that makes the road. It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's awesome.
Now there's a road.
I'm trying to figure out how that happens. I feel like somebody is consulting with like some city planner, like in the United States or someplace that said, listen, if you build this road, your tourism dollars will go up X amount, because they must be spending a ton of money to get this thing.
If
They
you build
were
it,
watching
they will
Saturday
come.
Night Lights. They were like, if you build it, they will come. Like this is how it works.
Exactly. Beautiful. So
Is that the right movie, Mitch? That
no, Field of Dreams.
If you
Field of
build it, they
Dreams.
will come. Field of Dreams.
Football
Anyways,
movie,
it's
right?
not even close. Friday Night Lights is what it is. It's about high school football. It's not
Is it
Saturday.
football
One's
movie?
about
Is it
high school
baseball
football.
movie?
The one's about baseball.
There's a
Friday
sport.
Night
There's a
Lights is a
sport.
football movie. Field of Dreams is a baseball movie.
There was
but
grass involved.
much more.
Yes, there's grass involved in both and a ball. So there you go. You got that going
And
for you.
my wife always makes fun of me because whenever they talk about Field of Dreams, hey Dad, you want to have a catch? I start crying.
Now I have to
Classic
watch this
movie.
movie.
Yeah, such a good movie.
Man, by the time I see Roatan again, I won't even recognize it.
Right?
Yeah,
That
sounds
road
like it.
is going, like I said, all the way to West End. And I think they're expanding the one to West Bay too, which is already a nice road. But it'll mean that the airport will, instead of being 20 minutes away, it'll be 15 minutes away because it's a
Even
much
better.
wider road.
So
and-
basically, Roatan's just getting more awesome.
Yeah, and there's like tons of, Brenda was saying, because we were like walking, she's like, you should take your camera sometime when we're walking and just take pictures of all the new houses being developed, because they are building house after apartment building. It's
Yes,
just
I want real
incredible.
estate in Roatan.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I'm
So,
also way less excited to go to Roatan when Mike and Brenda are not there.
Same.
well, I'll let you know when we're going. Maybe we'll all go together.
Yes, anytime you're gonna be in Roatan, give me a heads up.
I'm down to go
because-
back in the winter.
Yeah.
Winterish.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
All
he's,
right,
not
gents.
he's not gonna be in Rhode Island in the winter, but he might be in like Spain or something.
Yeah, I
that's
told
the
him,
one
I
guy's
said,
gotta take the kids around the world.
say that again?
You got to take the kids around the world while they're still young. While they
Yeah,
still
well,
appreciate it.
Noah's still in high school, and but we wanted to plan it so that we're in the warmer weather in the winter time. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the way to
and
do
I
it.
got some things to do too. I got to get my lending business up and the law business cranking. And
Business in a backpack.
summer of money.
Summer of money. Michael Schein, take us out of here, brother.
Massive income from passive income, especially in the summer of money.
Summer of money. Mitch, how do we do it?
In the summer of money, you got to do it like Sinatra said. You got to do it my way. So to drop some good knowledge that you wanted me to say something smart earlier. When Mike said he's not buying, you said you're selling all that stuff. And I'm like, yes. And that might be right for them. And I just bought something a couple months ago, not even a month and a half ago. Because it goes to, in the end, know thyself and know your market.
Yeah, totally.
Everyone's in a
Totally.
different place at a different time.
Right,
So-
not financial advice. That's perfect
Exactly.
reason to say that.
So some
'cause
people
you're-
are not buying now, some are. I mean, bottom line is, if I'm getting a 20% discount on a deal, I'm buying regardless of what market we're in.
Yeah.
Look, if
Let's
you
see
don't
what
have real
the-
estate, buy real estate. It's that simple. Don't wait to buy
Summer
real
of
estate.
money.
Buy real
Summer
estate
of
and
money.
wait.
There it is. You're good
Yeah.
right there. Summer of
Summer of
money,
money.
2023.
2023. I had to make sure we knew it's 2023.
Yes, that's key. Summer of money. Organize and collect to get that summer of money.
Point is not to work. It's to generate income. Cheers to your success. You have a choice.
Always work
Always
with
work with the
best.
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 See you
Peace.
next week.
Later.
Hey,
Guys.
Next week.